I'm not like my dad. I'm smarter than him. Better than him.
What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Monet, and we are locked in. Happy Tariq St. Patrick's Day. Yes, this is the premiere for Ghost Season 3, Episode 1. And let me tell you, last night's episode was a great one. Now, it's a huge web, and we're trying to figure out how Tariq is going to make it through this season. But everybody is connected to somebody, some way, somehow. We got Tariq trying to figure it out. The Tejada family, you know they're going to be a mess. We got a new connect. We got Davis in some nonsense. We got Sax backdooring people. Even Blanca's back in the scenes working with Gianni. So before we jump into this and break down episode 1, if you like power content, especially Ghost Book 2, then hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Make sure you hit that like button and follow me on Instagram right here. Now, we on that road to 50,000 subscribers, and I appreciate each and every one of you, but I'm not going to hold you up. Hit that subscribe button. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Episode 1, Season 3, Ghost. If you all remember back in Season 2, once Dante was robbed, they had a diamond ring in there. This diamond ring went to Tariq. Tariq gave it to Davis. And now this season, we're seeing Davis finally send it off to an auction. Now he sends it off to an auction. The bidding war starts and it sells for $5.5 million. During this auction, we see a woman sitting in the crowd. Now she's not saying anything, sitting back quietly observing everybody that's bidding on this diamond ring. The gentleman that buys it for $5.5 million then proceeds to take this diamond ring and propose to his wife. Now, this lady that's been watching everybody, her name is Noma. She has a couple of assistants with her, and she's asking for the diamond ring. She says it belongs to her. So what does she do? She cuts the lady's hand off, takes the ring off, and then shoots her and her fiance. This lady's name is Noma, and she said that ring was from Dante Spears, aka Mecca, and it belonged to her. Tariq is at Stansfeld. He's back in there. You remember what happened last year, course correct. They went to trial. Brayden went down for it. Him and Effie, they been getting closer. Last we seen Effie, she got into bed with Tariq after doing what she did with Lauren. Now she's telling Tariq she doesn't want to be as close to him this school year because she doesn't want to be known as Tariq's girl. And Tariq is saying, I'm not trying to change you, but we've been hanging out for the last 3 months. What's changed? Now you have to remember, Tariq is in a Weston's room. Him and Brayden. Weston's, they basically own half of the campus. Brayden's mom comes in and she's telling Tariq, you don't need to be in here. Now everybody is looking at Tariq because of his trial that he had. Now he wasn't found guilty. You're never found innocent. You're found not guilty. And she's saying, you were supposed to be out of here yesterday. Now Brayden's little sister, she's like, Mom, chill. Like, he went to court. Everything is all right. But as a Weston, you can't be having no St. Patrick in the room. So they're telling Tariq, you need to leave ASAP. Now over at the Tejada house, they're still grieving from the loss of Zeke. Yeah, Zeke was their cousin slash brother slash her nephew slash her son slash nothing to Lorenzo. And Lorenzo was the one that did the killing. But Davis is working their case. Davis came over and said, if there's any leads, if there's something in the NYPD, I'm going to be on it. I got ears in the streets. Now you hear Lorenzo. Lorenzo said, man, I'm pretty sure they're doing their job. Monet is down and out. What we've seen from Monet in the last 2 seasons, she doesn't show too much emotion. So hearing that they don't have any leads for Zeke is hurting her. We know that they have Weston holdings on Wall Street. Brayden's family has a lot of money. Brayden got kicked out of school for admitting that he was leading course correct. Now we get introduced to his uncle Lucas, who also runs Weston Holdings alongside of his brother, Brayden's dad. And one thing that we notice about him right off the bat, he's adventurous. He's outgoing. He also does a little bit of things behind the scenes that he probably shouldn't do. He gives Brayden some whiskey, and he also tells Brayden, course correct, if I went to Stansfield, that's something I would do. But I wouldn't take the stand behind it. So it looks like he's already encouraging Brayden that, hey, there's another life that comes along with this Wall Street. Now, there is a woman that works there by the name of Kiki. She works directly for Lucas. Now, she's going to be helping Brayden out around Wall Street and showing him the ropes. Brayden's a little attracted to her, so we're going to see where this goes moving forward. But Kiki looks like she's about her business and she's not playing around. You remember last year, Diana, she got her dad out of jail. She wanted to go to school. Monet kept telling her no. Pops got her into St. John's. She went to St. John's. Now he's saying, how about this school year? You go to Stansfield. Now, if you really listen and read between the lines, He's saying you can go to Stansfield full time. Tuition and everything is taken care of. All you have to do is grind a little bit for the extra money. I made a few calls. Who did Lorenzo call to get her into Stansfield is the question. And she's about to go to Stansfield with Tariq and Effie. We all know what Tate is about. Rashad Tate. He'll blackmail you. He'll take some money. He'll do anything he can to get ahead in life. Now he's sitting here eating with the dean and Tariq pops up. Tariq pops up because he doesn't have a room. He got kicked out of the Weston's room and now he needs to find somewhere. And the dean is saying we'll have to look into it. But Tate steps up and says, hey, my next campaign, I'll tell that Stansfield doesn't properly represent or look out for young black men at the school. So the dean tells Tariq, you got one more time to mess up. And now Rashad Tate is using Tariq and tells him, hey, for my campaign, I'm gonna need a little help. This is payback for getting him a room with the dean. While at the house, Davis lets the Tejadas know Dante Spears' penthouse goes to them. Because when he died, it goes to Zeke. Since Zeke died and didn't have anybody, it goes to his mom. She gives it to Drew and Kane. Now, they don't get any other assets. This condo was the only thing that was legit, the penthouse. Now, at this first day at the penthouse, Kane throws a party and he meets up with a guy named Kai that he wants to work with. Now, Kai will give them the work, but Kai wants 60% off the top. So this whole thing, it doesn't work because 60%, that's just too much when we're doing all of the work. Drew leaves the house with Everett. We don't have no new connect. And Bash pulls up on Tariq. And the reason he pulls up on Tariq is because you remember Course Correct was put together up under Bash. Remember, Tariq was in charge of it. Brayden admitted to it. Bash was married to Stern. Stern left him. He doesn't have any money. So he tells Tariq, you got 7 days to get me some money or I'm telling the police what I know about Course Correct, which will tie you back into it and it will bring you down. So right now, Bash is doing a little bit of blackmailing to get where he wants to go. But this is power. And if you don't do any blackmailing, you can't be in the show. Brayden is playing Tariq and Kane because he still wants to be in the dope game. We know that Brayden is privileged and on Wall Street, and he's seeing that it might potentially be wide open. Now, no one agrees with using Course Correct anymore, but while they're doing this, boom, through the back door, Noma and her goons, they come in, drop everybody down. Now, she gives us some detail on what the relationship was with her and Dante. Dante was her top lieutenant. She admits that Dante was snitching on her enemies to keep them in charge. Dante had a diamond ring that was supposed to go to her, but he left to be with Monet, even though Noma don't know that. And she wants to know who sold the ring. And also, you guys are in Dante's house. Do y'all think y'all Dante? Now, the boys say we can do exactly what Dante did, but better, and we have connections. So now they have 30 days to move Noma's product, or you know what the outcome is. Game over. After all of this happened, the next day, Tariq goes directly to Davis McClain. McClain is guy on the show, and he's telling him, look, there's some lady running around. She chopped off somebody's hand. She came, she stuck up me, Kane, and Brayden, and she's telling us we got to move her work. Now, of course, all of this leads back to Davis. It also leads back to Tariq because Tariq gave it to Davis. Davis took it to the lady took it to the auction. You see what I'm saying? So everybody's connected to somebody. And Davis wants to know who she is. But Tariq doesn't know because he just met her last night. In the hallway, Sax is trying to listen. Sax is trying to figure out what's going on because he has to give information to Jenny because he believes that Sax works directly with Davis and he feels that Davis is working with the Tejadas and the St. Patrick's. You remember Tariq was cleaning out his room. It's a Weston room. Brayden's sister is in the Weston room. This is why I said we need to figure out who Lorenzo called because he put in a call for Diana to be full-time at Stansfield in a Weston room. Now, the Weston sister is saying, you're a Tejada? I Googled your family. My parents wouldn't appreciate you being in the room with me. But then Diana flips it on her and says, hey, you're a Weston. Your brother sold dope in this school, so my parents wouldn't like that either. But both of the girls, they have a mutual agreement to not tell their family that they're in the room with each other. So maybe they can coexist because that's really their family issue and not their issue. You guys know over the years at Stansfield, they had a shortage of professors. We had Professor Jabari, he died. Professor Milgram, she died. Professor Tate, he was there temporarily. We don't know where he's at. But now we have Professor Bennett. And guess what? We got all of the smartest kids on campus in one class. 300 applicants, 25 made it, and she's breaking down everything. So we're going to have a new dynamic, and I think this was American Psych that they're in. So what they're talking about first in the class, and we always notice that everything that they talk about in the class relates to the episode, and they're talking about perception. Now in the military, they say perception is reality. So if my perception of something is reality, then I should be the highest ranking member. That's my perception, but it don't work like that. Basically what they're saying is, with Zeke dying and being tied with the Tejadas and getting shot, connected to drugs and everything, the perception of Zeke was he was a thug, even though we know that Zeke wasn't. You have to change the narrative. Back on Wall Street, Brayden is getting a taste of privilege. Now in the meeting room, Kiki's putting this together. She needs to make sure that Brayden got all his documentation and everything ready for the meeting, has the numbers. Now, Trace has a couple of goofballs behind him, and they doing coke and everything. They ask Brayden, do you want some? He says no. They say there's no way you're Trace's brother or Lucas's nephew. But I guess when you supply the drugs, you don't get high off your own supply. Now, Trace stops all of this, and Brayden is upset because he doesn't want Trace taking up for him. But Trace is doing this because of like, hey, my brother did look out for me, and I'm alive because of him. But guess what? Bash pulls up and tells Brayden the same thing that happened with Tariq. Oh, I need some money, and I need it fast. Now, no one really knows what's going on with Effie. After class, she's walking, and Kane wants to get in touch with her. And the reason for that is because Kane told Brayden and Tariq that if I'm going to work with anybody in y'all crew, it's going to be Effie. And the reason he's saying that is because of everything that happened last season, especially with the court case. Now, Effie's not giving Kane any play. She's not really acknowledging anything. She's continuing to walk. And Kane is just like, hey, we got a new connect. And he's trying to backdoor Tariq and telling Effie, listen, Tariq ain't looking out for you. He didn't bring you in, but I'm willing to do it. We also find out that Davis is trying to get his brother out of jail, Theo Rollins, for this manslaughter that he was wrongfully convicted of. Now he's saying we can get your brother into these trials. The only thing is your brother's in jail. So until your brother can get out, we can't put him in these trials. So this is putting a lot of pressure on Davis to tell Sachs to get on your job and get my brother out. Now we all have our speculations about, did Theo take this manslaughter charge for Davis? And if so, what was Davis into that he needed his brother to take the case? Davis calls Sachs. Sachs is with Gianni. Gianni is the U.S. District Attorney. She's trying to get information on everybody. So Sachs has to give her information on Davis and potentially Tariq, and then she'll give information on anybody watching Dante Spears' house, because you got to remember, everyone is connected. Davis is looking out for Monet. Sachs is looking out for Sachs. Sachs works with Davis. Davis works with Monet. Davis works with Tariq. You see what I'm saying? Everybody is connected. And Gianni is telling him, you get me some information, I get you some information. So this is episode 1, and this is how tangled up we are. Brayden comes up to Kane. He's like, hey, Kane, I got to meet with you. And the reason they're meeting is because Bash pulled up and told Brayden that he owes some money or he's going to tell on him. So he goes to Kane and he tells Kane, listen, you remember Bash that me and Tariq did business with? We need to kill him. Well, you need to kill him. I don't think I should be there. But Kane, he's not that dumb. And he's saying, if we're going to do it, then we need to go do this together. Matter of fact, you need to do it because he's not coming after Kane. But Brayden, being privileged, he wants to put it off on somebody else. Well, Tariq has an issue with Bash. Brayden has an issue with Bash. Tariq gets there first and he's talking to Bash. And Bash is like, I need my money. I need it now. You can put on a Tom Ford suit, but I can still smell the stench off of you, Tariq. Basically saying, Tariq, I own you and I'll mess up your life. Now, Tariq is hearing all of this, and just like his father, he can't take it. He grabs a knife. Ha, ha, ha. One good shank to the gut, and that's the end of Bash. And Brayden and Kane show up, and they got to help get rid of the body because remember, they were showing up to kill Bash also. When I tell you everybody is connected somehow, Gianni is doing her research. She's trying to figure out and tie everything together. Well, guess who pops up? Blanca shows up. Now, Blanca shows up and she's also trying to get Tariq, and she gives up the information that Tariq was in Dante's penthouse the night that he was killed. So now Jenny has a little bit of information about Sax, that he's getting information on Davis, working with the Tejadas and Tariq. Blanca's trying to lock it up. Now these two, they're using each other's information. Now they're cross-referencing each other. Guess what? Jenny throws out, hey, I can't do anything. My hands are tied. But since you're a federal agent, how about you start a RICO on Tariq St. Patrick and we start using our resources and get everybody together up under one umbrella. So now it's looking like this is going from New York to the federal level. Tariq is going through it. He got kicked out of his class. He got to get ready to get his speech for Zeke, and Effie is in here. Now, Effie knows that they got a new connect. Tariq said he don't want her involved in it. Kane is going behind Tariq's back and telling Effie he does want her in the game, and she wants to see if Tariq is going to tell the truth. Now, one thing we know about Effie, she lies all the time. She even lied in this conversation talking about Lauren's death wasn't because of Tariq, and she didn't die because of none of this, even though we find out a little bit later on about Lauren. Now, Professor Bennett, she runs into our man Tate. Now, Tate is with Angela. She looking good. Professor Bennett's looking good. And it seems like they know each other from way back. They know each other so well, they forget to introduce Angela. So we need to see what's going to happen between these two. And of course, you know, I'm going to be doing a little bit of digging. I'm going to do my research on Professor Bennett and see who she knows, how she knows him, and what does her and Tate got going on. Diana put together a whole ceremony for her brother Zeke. Now, Salim, he comes and he's trying to talk to her. She's kind of upset because she wanted to do this to make her mom proud, but we know how Monet acts. So you just got to let Monet let it blow over. But Salim, he's trying to get at Diana. His game ain't where it needs to be, but at least he's shooting his shot. Now, while all this is going on, they bring little Mo up on stage and she starts to sing the opening song, you know, in memory of our boy Zeke. Monet is sitting here. She's crying. Little Mo is singing. This is her son, y'all. Sad day. They give her the jersey and she just can't handle it. She leaves. She starts having flashbacks of Zeke. Zeke came out. He was averaging like 12 points, 2 rebounds. But man, he was the best at Stansfield. The best we ever seen. Now, when Tariq gets up there, I spoke about Professor Bennett's class and we were talking about perception. And that's what he's trying to tell everybody during his speech. You guys may have heard things about Zeke, but Zeke wasn't nothing but a good kid and a basketball player. So your perception of him is all messed up. It's clouded. And Tariq wants them to know that, hey, he didn't have anything to do with this. So let's get that stigmatism off him. Now, there is a guy in the crowd that says, but Tariq, you did it. You were the one supplying drugs. But guess what? Tariq was found not guilty. And he's trying to change the narrative about himself because people have been calling the school saying that they didn't want to be around Tariq because of what he went to trial for. Now, he was found not guilty. So technically, you can't say anything about him because he didn't do anything. Monet left the ceremony early. When Tariq comes and talks to her after his speech, he's asking, is she all right? And she tells Tariq no. But if you listen closely, she says, you're the only person I can trust. I got to find out who killed Zeke. You were with me when it happened. While this is going on, Lorenzo's in the hallway and he sees that Monet and Tariq, they're getting close. And just like Kane has been noticing that's because Kane is Lorenzo's son and both of them feel a certain way with Monet getting closer to Tariq. Now, Tariq and Monet, they're going to be working together moving forward because at this point, they can only trust each other. Everyone else, wild cards. Now, remember, Noma told them they're on a 30-day counter. You got 30 days to remove this dope, all of it. Get it in and out. Tariq and Brayden are looking around like this is a lot. Now, they told them that they were better than Dante. So let's see. But we know if Noma doesn't get a profit, everybody's dying. So they need to get to work. This is day one. All right, episode 1 of Ghost. Let me know what you think. I'm definitely feeling this season. We got a new cast of characters, new villains. This is about to really take off. Let me know what you think about it. Is Tariq going to be able to navigate his way through Stansfield without the stigmatism of him being a drug dealer? And is Wall Street the move? Let me know what you think about that. I'm Mo.J. Make sure you tune in tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going in depth, breaking down each individual character. Gonna be a good time. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Episode 2, it can only get better from here. Thanks for watching. I'm out.